There's a growing and insidious trend in right-wing media, broadcast, print, and social media. It is to take highly misleading and selectively edited videos of President Biden directly from Republican National Committee social media accounts and then use those videos to spread messages virally to cast doubt on President Biden's fitness for office. Here is this headline from the New York Post, quote, Biden appears to freeze up, has to be led off stage by Obama at Megabucks LA fundraiser. The full video posted by Biden finance chair on Twitter shows something entirely different. Biden reacting to applause and then walking off stage with former President Obama. It comes less than 1 week after the New York Post made a cover out of another piece of deceptively edited tape, calling him meanderer-in-chief due to what they claim was Biden walking away during a skydiving demonstration.
She let the mask slip right at the end. She said, who's the president right now? I mean, who's the president-elect? But she asked the right question first. Who is the president right now? Joe Biden, who we rarely hear from, and the Wall Street Journal reported today, has been diminished for the last 4 years, and we've had unelected people running around running the federal government, apparently. So if that is what they're worried about, if they're worried about people who aren't Donald Trump, running the government or having influence, I wonder where they've been the last 4 years. Now, this doesn't excuse anybody's behavior on Capitol Hill tonight, but I think it's pretty rich for Democrats to be worried about people who aren't Donald Trump having influence when the current president, a Democrat, is AWOL and apparently not able to execute the duties of the office.
New York Times just executed a 180-degree turn. Suddenly wants to talk about how old and tired Biden is. What a difference 179 days make for the New York Times. And I want to kind of point this out. As you saw from the intro, I led up with months ago, when the media was here defending Joe Biden. When we try to point out cheap fakes, they call out the right wingers as cheap fakes. When we were talking about how Obama seemingly was holding Biden to the other side of the stage, media personalities, liberal pundits, liberal journalists were making all kinds of excuses about, oh no, they were just hugging. It was just a warm embrace. You missed it. And after stating the obvious, something that conservatives were seeing since the start of pretty much his term. And what's sparking this? A report came out, the Washington Wall Street Journal came out. Nothing to see here, just the Washington Journal admitting casually after 4 years that the U.S. president is mentally incapacitated and has been for his entire presidency. How the White House functioned with a diminished Biden in charge. And this is sparking some discussions about who's in charge, who's the president. Where we got labels being thrown around about being a puppet president, but we just finished experiencing 4 years of a puppet president. His name is Joe Biden. Democrats try to put another puppet candidate called Kamala Harris because she learned from the best. That's the argument from conservatives. And now they're getting mad at the fact that Elon Musk decided that he wanted to highlight some of the issues that Elon had found about the bill. And because the American people agreed with Elon and says, Congress shouldn't be giving themselves a 40% raise, now everyone's worried about Trump advisors having influence over him, while the last 4 years, Biden was unable to do his full duty as president. Make it make sense, leftists. This is what I'm talking about. I'm calling out tribalism today because I'm getting pissed off right now. I'm starting to get annoyed right now. Y'all trying to piss on my leg and say it's raining. This is the Democratic liberal spin job that they're trying to do. For 4 years, you gaslight the American people. Because if you look at polls, and I'm going to keep standing on business on this one. If you look at polls, majority of Americans agreed that Biden was mentally unfit for president. That poll been around way before the debate even happened. And the media constantly kept lambasting, kept trying to gaslight the American people and saying, no, Biden's fine. No, Biden's capable. No, this. They try to say, they try to focus on Trump. They try to distract with Trump. It didn't matter. Majority of Americans throughout the presidency believed that Biden was mentally unfit to be president. And then 4 years later, when it doesn't matter anymore, now y'all want to admit it. This is why people are tired of the news media. Because it seems like the news media's job is not to give you news, not to give you information, not to inform you. But it seemed like the news media's job is to perpetrate a narrative. Let's check out this clip from Scott Jennings, and then we'll get into a full video reaction. Let's take a look.
Show Biden having all of these sort of walls up.
Yeah.
And the walls kept getting higher and higher as the years went on.
This is the biggest scandal in America. And the level and volume of people who dedicated themselves to lying to everyone at home about this man's condition for 4 straight years up through this summer is breathtaking. It's a scandal of epic proportions, and it's a fair question to ask. Who is running the country? Who has been running the country? And as I said earlier, if you're worried about Donald Trump's advisors having influence, for the last 4 years, apparently this president, duly elected, but this president was not capable of fulfilling the duties of the office. And his staff and the White House lied about it and kept it from the American people. It's an absolute scandal.
Are you pissed off yet? New details emerged about the White House cover-up of Biden's cognitive decline. Some of Biden's own cabinet secretaries were not able to talk to him. Let's read a little bit into it, because this is when the media always ask themselves, why people don't trust in us anymore? Why CNN is struggling to get views to the point where the Food Channel is doing better than them? What Hallmark is having higher viewership than them? It's because they do ish like this. They want to focus on Elon Musk pointing out something inconvenient to the interests of Congress. The lowest approval rating of Congress, wanting to give themselves a 40% raise, but they want you to see, oh, look, they voted against this thing that would have gave money to cancer research. But you stuff it along with pay raises for yourself, with a bunch of stuff that goes to corporate donors, and then you sitting here pretending you're doing a good thing, Democrats? Like I always stated on this channel, and people can disagree with me on this. I'm fine. Like, end of the day, this is America. We're allowed to disagree with each other. But I always see it that Democrats never want to take responsibility for anything that they are a part of. End of the day, they're part of this Congress. The Republicans only got a 1 seat majority in this Congress. And they're trying to pretend like, oh, this is all Republicans' fault. No, it's 49% your fault, Democrat. Because y'all had 85 days to deal with this. And instead, y'all waited last minute, and then you expected the last minute bill of 1,500 pages where no one had no time to look into it. Make it make sense. What y'all been doing for 85 days? It just shows me how much free time you guys have. But I digress. I don't want to, this is not about Congress. I already did a video on Congress. A new report published Thursday revealed new insights into the White House efforts to conceal Joe Biden's severe cognitive decline. That means Kamala Harris knew about this. She definitely knew about this. Over the last 4 years, the Wall Street Journal reported that Biden handlers limited who he spoke to, what information they gave him, and what news he consumed. Nearly 50 Democrats, various politicians, aides, and administration officials spoke to the Journal for the report, in which they described the hand-holding they witnessed from Biden's handlers. Sleepy Joe. What they said was unlike anything they have seen before. The report said that Biden's cognitive decline was so bad that a wall was built around him to mask his struggles, which was so significant that they could upset the world order, which happened during what? The debate. Within just the first few months after taking office, Biden already showed signs of cognitive decline associated with advanced age. I'm done. I'm done talking. I'm done. You want to see the face of conservatives when the left finally want to admit the Wall Street Journal? This is the news. This is who we're supposed to trust more than people online. People online. This is people online. This is people on X. The Times 4 months ago. Those videos of Joe Biden falling asleep and slurring his words are cheap fakes. Of course he can serve another 4 years. The Times now. How could anyone have imagined that Joe Biden could have served another 4 years? Conservatives. This is the conservative conundrum. Because conservatives want to prevent problems, right? We bring up points, we bring up this, we bring up that. But liberals, all they like to do is dismiss us. They dismiss, and they pretend they're know-it-all. Snooty, condescending, smug. They think they know everything. When conservatives try to bring their point of view, oh, you're exaggerating the problem. Oh, that's a non-problem. That's not an issue. Dismissal, dismissal, dismissal. Until it's so blatant in your face, you cannot ignore it anymore. And now, they want to move on to another narrative. Okay, we can't defend the fact that Joe Biden's been a puppet master of a puppet for the last 4 years of the party. So let's pretend Trump's a puppet too. Every accusation is an admission. And I got an interesting clip that I want to highlight here in this video. So let's get into it.
I mean, when I open up Twitter, the only tweets I see are a couple of yours and 6 or 7
Just
of
remember,
Elon Musk.
Jeff said it. The 2 most influential tweets: Elon's, Jennings.
But think about this: $27 billion bought him exactly what he wanted, and that's unfettered access. Now, I hope he uses it well, and I hope he uses Doge to the credit of all these great opportunities to cut spending. I really, really genuinely hope he's successful. But if he acts like this and uses that...
Well, he's doing his job, sir. Isn't he want government efficiency? Doesn't he want to cut costs? Does he want to hold government accountable for fiscal responsibility? So it sounds like Elon Musk is doing what he's supposed to do. He's being the department head of government efficiency. And if he sees a bill that he don't believe is efficient, a 1,500-page bill that's going to give Congress more money, which is unjustified because they have a low approval rating from the American people, so that means they don't deserve a raise, he's doing his job. But all of a sudden, y'all getting mad because of what? He's a billionaire? What kind of discrimination is that? He's an American. He deserves to have a say in how the government operates, correct? He's a co-head of a new department being formed to the president. He's an advisor to the president. Make it make sense. Remember when the Democrats was making fun of Doge? I did a video of how Gavin Newsom was mocking Doge. What is this Doge? It's some promo project. Remember? This was the Democrats. Just a week ago, actually a couple days ago, y'all was making fun of Doge, minimizing it, acting like it had no teeth. And then they shrugged their shoulders. Vivek and Elon shrugged their shoulders, and all of a sudden, y'all mad. All of a sudden, you got Democrats in Congress saying, we're going to have to go through this every single time we pass a bill? Yes. That's the purpose of Doge. It sounds like to me that these Democrats don't like transparency very much. But I digress. I don't want to take up most of the video.
That Twitter power to wreck the car. I mean, we want change, but not all change is good change.
I mean, the counter argument is if he gives information to people that they didn't previously have or some transparency into our government and they act on it, is that necessarily a bad thing? I might offer that.
I think that's a great idea.
You think Elon Musk is actually telling people things that they couldn't find out, except for Elon Musk?
Elon Musk is doing this to
Elon Musk is a representation and also an amplifier. Because if I sit here, let's say I'm the one who found out about it. Let's say I was the one who read the bill. I spent 4 hours reading a 1,500-page bill. That's more than some books. I could read a 700-page book within 2 days. But 1,500 pages? Whew. So let's say I found that out and I projected online. I said, look at this bill. With my small following, with my small audience, it won't gain any traction. You wouldn't even be reacting to it. But Elon does it with 85 million people following him, richest man in the world, and also co-head of Doge, Department of Government Efficiency. People are going to listen to him before they listen to me. But we're essentially saying the same thing. Elon and me are saying the same thing. So just because Elon's an amplifier for the sentiment of people on the conservative movement, y'all want to pretend, oh, it's Elon's doing this. Elon's doing this for his own selfish gain. And you're going to see how the hypocrisy of this gets pointed out in this clip.
gin up people to call their congressman or congresswoman and tell them to vote against something Elon Musk doesn't want them to vote for because it doesn't directly benefit Elon Musk.
I can say the same thing about the media. The media highlights stories that doesn't benefit their narrative, so people will be outraged over a narrative that benefits their goals, their perception, their building consensus. I can say the same thing about the media. So you can make that accusation about anybody. And here's one thing I'll leave off, and we'll get back into the video. Humans suck at judging people's intentions. She doesn't know that was Elon's intent. She has no evidence, no proof to back up her framing of events. So this is merely nothing more than a claim.
Let's be very clear. He's not here.
How do you know that?
He's not. How do I know that? Because look at this bill.
You're
Look at
making
the
an
stuff-
allegation. It's a serious allegation. I mean,
Yes,
you're
it's a
essentially
very-
alleging corruption.
I'm not. No, first of all, I'm not alleging corruption. I'm alleging that Elon Musk has a particular interest in seeing certain things happen that benefit Elon Musk's business.
No.
That's a fact. He's a businessman. He's not here.
What? Okay. You are a liberal. So should I assume anything you're saying up here is merely to defend Democrats, merely to push a left-wing worldview because I know your politics? So because you know Elon Musk is a businessman, so everything Elon does is based on business? See how dumb this is? No evidence. This is what we're talking about. This is why news media is known as propaganda media. This is why I rather trust people on X more than I trust people on legacy news. Because I know your bias. I know your bias already. I know who you want to win. I know you ran a shadow campaign where you discredited a credible story, the Hunter Biden laptop story, and you pretend it was misinformation, disinformation. And now you're trying to allege to do the same thing here. And you wonder why people don't trust y'all. Ridiculous.
As a staffer, if you were a staffer, if you were working on the Hill, then he should go work on the Hill. Doge is not. He's purposely not going into the government because then he'd have to show a lot more information about himself than he and Vivek Ramaswamy want to. So now they're just advisors. They're unpaid advisors. And for that reason, Elon Musk is puppeteering Donald Trump and every other member of Congress that he wants to, and every other member of Congress that he wants to benefit Elon Musk.
I'm not sure Trump is doing anything to dissuade people
in October. In October, the principal Democratic.
You hear the undertones she reaffirmed the framing. She said, Donald Trump's not doing anything to persuade this narrative that he's being puppeted by Elon Musk. Whatever are you talking about? Like, what the hell are you talking about? What? There's no evidence of that. There's literally, y'all can't decide if Trump is big bad boogeyman. Y'all just finished saying that. Let me stop. How is it any different when politicians get donations from pharmaceutical companies? So if I find out Elizabeth Warren is getting paid $700,000 from pharmaceutical companies, so therefore should I assume that Elizabeth Warren is purely a puppet of pharmaceutical companies? These people inconsistently apply these positions, these stances, these framings based on who the political team, the individual, or the target of this narrative is. Media is a narrative machine, bro. They prove it every day.
The argument was Donald Trump is going to be a dictator. And today it's Donald Trump is just being puppeteered by other people.
Exactly.
Which is
You
it?
could be both. Or you could be both.
Both. Clown statement. You could be both. Clown statement. I don't want to give these people any more credibility, bro. Like, imagine being mad that someone just points out, hey, look at the bill. Look at the pork belly spending you're doing. Hey, look, we want transparency. There should be transparency on every person who sponsor each item on the legislation. But instead, you want to give Elon credit. Leadership is writing a 1,500-page bill, hiding it from most lawmakers until the day before Christmas, giving them no chance to identify or fix serious problems. But Elon decides to do that job. He highlights the problems with it. He identifies problems with the bill. He notifies the American people. American people goes out and agrees with Elon Musk. It sounds like y'all just bitter losers. Yeah, it sounds like y'all mad that Elon opinion is valued by the public. That's what it sounds like to me. But I digress. I think I've been hammering this point enough. But let me hear your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel that the Washington Post, the Washington Journal, the Wall Street Journal, and the New York Times finally admit that what conservatives and many people who was paying attention knew all along, what most Americans knew all along, that Biden was mentally unfit to be president for the last 4 years? They puppeteer Biden, and now they're trying to pretend that Elon's doing the same thing to Trump because they were doing it. Democrats every day admit this. They prove this stance true. Every accusations from liberals, every accusations from Democrats, every accusations from journalists is a confession on what the Democrats do in their own party. And that was verified today. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'd like to hear what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts, what you guys are thinking in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate you guys watching to the end of the video. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.